So we'll begin our class in whatever position you find most comfortable. You can take a moment to decide how you'd like to rest. Whether it's in a seated position or reclined is up to you. Choosing a position that allows you to connect with your mat beneath you and finds a sense of settling and grounding. And once you've chosen your position, take a moment to scan through the body and notice any areas where the body is touching down on the ground or on some kind of support. And at each one of those points of contact, allow yourself to settle in, allow that ground or other type of support to really support your body so that your muscles can relax a little bit more deeply. And as you scan through the body looking for these points of contact, noticing any areas where you're holding on to tension or tightness, and consciously softening and releasing those areas. Allowing yourself to gradually get a bit heavier on the mat. Maybe choosing to close your eyes. Starting to soften the muscles of your face and relax your jaw. And then once you feel settled, we'll start to bring some awareness to our breathing without trying to change it. Noticing the feeling of the breath in the body. Noticing how the body moves as you inhale and exhale. And if you notice that your breathing is a bit shallow or a bit fast, allow your next inhale to be a little bit deeper, drawing that air down the length of the spine, allowing the ribcage to expand as the lungs fill, and then allowing the belly to rise. And as you exhale, allow that air to travel in the reverse, softening the belly, softening the ribcage as the air travels back up and out. And once you found a slow, steady breath rhythm that's comfortable for you, take a moment to notice what that feels like in the body. Again, noticing where the breath travels as you inhale and exhale. Noticing the length and depth of your breath. And then we'll start to invite some small movement back into the body, gently wiggling fingers and wiggling toes. Maybe circling wrists and ankles if that's available to you. And gently turning the head from side to side. And we'll come back to stillness. And if you did start out laying on your back, take a moment to roll over to one side of the body, whichever one you prefer. Allow yourself to adjust to that new position. And then slowly making your way up to your favorite seated position. And take a moment here to warm up the neck and the shoulders. Starting with the neck, we'll drop the chin down towards the chest, lengthening the back of the neck. And then we'll roll the chin over towards one shoulder. We'll go back down through center and over to the other side. Taking your time. Allowing your gaze to shift as you move your head. And continuing to tune into any areas of tension. If you feel like there's somewhere that you want to pause and take a longer, deeper stretch, you can do that too. Breathing into any tension that you feel. And then allowing yourself to move again when you're ready. And bringing the head back to stillness. And sit up nice and tall. And as we inhale, we'll lift our shoulders up towards our ears. Let's squeeze them together and draw them down the back. As we inhale, lifting up. And as we exhale, squeezing and lowering. Taking your time. Allowing your movement and your breath to match one another. And then we'll take it the other direction. Still lifting up on the inhale, but now rolling the shoulders forward, spreading the shoulder blades wide on the exhale. We'll bring it back to stillness. And let's make our way up onto our hands and our knees, moving any props out of the way. Come into a tabletop position. Let's stack the shoulders over the elbows and the hips over the knees. We'll spread our fingers nice and wide, pressing fingertips down into the mat. You can allow the toes to be flat on the floor, or you can tuck them under, whatever you prefer. We'll continue to warm up the spine by moving through some cat and cow shapes. As we inhale, dropping the belly, drawing the shoulders back and looking forward for cow pose. And as we exhale, rounding the spine, spreading the shoulders, looking back to the knees for cat. Taking your time, using your inhale to lengthen the front of the body and exhale to lengthen the back. Allowing your movement and your breath to match one another. You can make the movements as big or as small as you want to. And let's bring the body back to stillness in a neutral tabletop. We'll press the floor away, spreading the shoulder blades slightly. Take a deep breath in. And as we exhale, let's draw the right shoulder back towards the right hip, looking towards those right toes. We'll inhale, coming back to center, keep pressing the floor away, and then exhale over to the left side. Nice gentle side to side stretch. Inhaling to center and exhaling to one side or the other. Taking your time and again, noticing any areas where you feel resistance, where there might be tightness. When you're ready, we'll come all the way back to center. And start to walk the hands back up towards the body, coming to an upright kneeling position. Keep the knees about hip distance apart. We'll bring our hands onto our hips. And let's extend the left leg out towards the left side. You can either have your toes pointing forward in the same direction as your body. You could point them up towards the ceiling, or you could point them out towards the wall on the left side. So any option that feels comfortable for you. We'll square our hips and shoulders out in front of us, so they're both facing in the same direction as our gaze. We'll start to slide our left hand down our left leg. We'll stop when we start to feel a stretch on the inner left thigh. And you can stay here, or you can lift your right hand up and extend it towards the left side of the room. As we inhale, let's focus on lengthening the right side of the body, whether the arm is lifted or not. And as we exhale, maybe hinging a little bit further over towards the left. Remembering to be mindful of the sensation inside of the left leg and to not push past any tension. Good, we'll release, coming back to center. Let's bring that left knee back in beside the right, and then we'll switch, taking the right leg out to the side. Again, options for the foot. You can point your right foot forward so it's facing the same direction as your body. You can point it towards the right side of the room, or you can point your toes up towards the ceiling. Allowing hips and shoulders to face forward. The right leg should be roughly in line with the left knee. And we'll stand up nice and tall and then start to slide the right hand down the right leg. You can leave your left hand where it is, or you can extend it up and across towards the right side. Breathing in to lift up and then breathing out, maybe hinging a little bit deeper. Really focusing on lengthening the left side of the body, whether that left arm is lifted or not. And breathing into any tension that you feel. And let's release. We'll come back to center. We'll bring that right knee in to meet the left. Let's bring our hands to our low back so the fingertips are pointing down. Palms are pressing into the sacrum where the spine meets the hips. Start our elbows back towards one another. Draw the shoulder blades down and back. And then as we inhale, we'll start to lift up through the chest. Imagine getting a little bit taller. And then start to press the hips forward as you exhale. It doesn't have to be very far. With each inhale, lifting up through the chest, and with the exhale, maybe pressing the hips a little bit further forward. If you're feeling comfortable and confident in your balance this morning and you'd like to lift your gaze up towards the ceiling, you can do that. Coming into a gentle variation of camel pose to start off with. Breathe in, lift up, breathe out, fold forward. When you're ready, releasing, coming all the way back to center. Let's place the hands down on the ground, making our way into our tabletop. From here, we'll extend the right foot back behind us, tucking the toes under, and then pressing the right heel back. Stopping when you start to find that stretch along the back of the right calf or back of the right hamstring. We'll take one or two slow, deep breaths here, continuing to press that right foot back. And then we'll release, bringing the right knee in. And we'll switch sides, taking the left foot back, tucking the toes under, and pressing that left heel back behind us. Maybe noticing if there are any differences from right side to left. And then tuning into where you feel any sensation along the back of the left leg, through the left foot, through the left hip. And we'll release, bringing the left knee back in beside the right. Let's step back into downward facing dog, lifting our hips up and back. We'll take a moment here to pedal up through the feet, pressing the floor away, lifting hips up and back, finding length along the upper body. And then continuing to bend through knees and bend through ankles. We'll walk those feet up towards the top of the mat, coming into a forward fold. Allowing the feet to land hip distance apart or maybe a little bit closer. Let the knees bend so that the belly can rest on the thighs, and we'll let the head hang heavy. Either allowing the hands to rest on the floor, taking hold of opposite elbows, or maybe wrapping your arms around the backs of your legs. Take a moment to nod the head yes or shake the head no to release tension from the neck. And take a couple of breaths here, observing how they feel in the body. Noticing any areas of tightness. And allowing your breath to flow towards those areas, inviting a little bit of fresh energy into the body. From here, let's bend the knees even deeper. We'll sweep the arms out to the sides and we'll come all the way up to standing, letting the palms meet up overhead. We'll exhale, drawing hands down to heart center. Let's pause in our mountain pose, releasing our arms down at our sides. Take a moment to lift the toes, press the ball of the foot and the heel down into the ground so that the inner arch lifts up. And see if you can hold on to that deeper connection through the ball of the foot and the heel as you lower your toes back down. Let's lift our shoulders up, back and down. And we'll either spread our fingers wide or draw them together, extending fingertips straight down towards the floor. You can either have your palms facing your body or you can face them forward. And as we inhale here, we'll lengthen up, lifting up through the crown of the head, straight up towards the ceiling. As we exhale, we'll press down through those contact points of the feet. Making our mountain pose pretty active. Breathing into it. From here, as you're ready, we'll inhale, reaching both hands up overhead. We'll exhale, bending the knees and folding. Let's inhale for half back, straightening out the legs, straightening out the spine, bringing hands to rest somewhere on the legs. And then we'll exhale, folding forward again, planting the hands. We'll step back to downward facing dog. Taking some time here again, pedaling out through the feet if you'd like, or extending the heels down towards the floor as you lift your hips up and back. You can have a bit of a bend in your knees if that feels more comfortable for you. Take a couple of inhales and exhales. And then we'll start to walk the feet forward. When you're ready, making your way up to the top of the mat, coming into a forward fold. From your forward fold, inhaling to half back, Ardha Uttanasana, and exhaling to fold. And then we'll inhale, bending the knees, sweeping hands out to the sides. We'll come all the way up to standing, letting the palms meet up overhead, and then we'll exhale, drawing them down to heart center. From here, inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling, bending the knees and folding. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Let's inhale, bending the knees and looking forward. Exhaling, walk or step to the top of the mat. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise up, reach those hands up overhead. And then draw them down to heart center as you exhale. Inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling, bending knees and folding. Inhaling for half back. Exhaling, folding, stepping back, downward dog. Inhale, gaze forward, bend the knees. Exhale, up or walk to the top of the mat. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhaling, hands down to heart center. Do one more like that. Inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling, bending the knees and folding. Inhaling for half back. Exhaling, folding, planting hands, stepping back, downward dog. Let's bend the knees and look forward as we inhale. As we exhale, let's step or walk to the top of the mat. Inhaling for half back. We'll exhale to fold. And inhale, rise all the way up. Drawing hands down to heart center on the exhale. Let's release the hands at the sides. We'll find our active mountain pose. Giving yourself a moment to root down, lengthen up, and scan through the body. Okay, we're going to add a little bit more. So let's inhale, reaching up. Exhaling, we'll bend the knees and fold. We'll inhale for half back. Exhaling, folding, planting the hands. We'll step the right foot back behind us. Pressing the heel back, toes point forwards. Left knee stacks over left ankle. From here, we'll inhale, releasing the hands out to the sides and then up overhead, coming into a high lunge. Here, we'll continue to press the right heel back, lengthen up through the spine, and then lunge into the left knee. On an exhale, let's take the hands back down onto the ground, and we'll step the left foot back to meet the right, coming into downward facing dog. As we inhale, we'll bend the knees looking forward. Exhale, step just the right foot forward, coming in once again to a lunge. We'll inhale the hands up overhead, pressing back through left heel, reaching up through the hands. And then on an exhale, drop the hands and step the left foot forward. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Then inhale, rise all the way up. Exhaling, hands down to heart center. Second side. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, folding. Inhaling for half back. Exhaling, folding, stepping left foot back behind us. We'll inhale, coming up into our high lunge or crescent lunge, reaching hands up overhead. Exhale, hands down to the mat, step the right foot back. We'll inhale, bend the knees looking forward. Exhale, step the left foot up. As we inhale, we'll rise all the way up. Hands reach up overhead. We'll exhale, hands down to the mat, stepping that right foot forward. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. And inhale, rise all the way up. Exhaling, hands down to heart center. Good, we'll do that again. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, bending the knees and folding. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale, fold right foot first. We'll step the right foot back. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to the mat, step the left foot back. We'll inhale, bending the knees, looking forward. Exhale, the right foot forward. We'll inhale, lifting up into our crescent lunge. Exhale, drop the hands to the mat, step the left foot forward. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. And inhale, rise all the way up. Exhaling, hands down to heart center. Other side, inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling, bending the knees and folding. Inhaling, half back. Exhaling to fold, left foot this time, steps back. We'll inhale, rise up. Exhale, drop the hands to the mat, step the right foot back. Inhale, bend the knees and look forward. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat. We'll inhale, lifting. Exhale, drop the hands down, step forward. Inhaling for half back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands down to heart center, and then release them at the sides. We'll pause in our mountain pose. Taking the time in between each different set to realign, to check in. Finding a neutral position and then scanning through the body. Noticing the impact of those movements. Noticing the breath, the beating of the heart. Sensation through the body. Noticing what muscles are starting to get fired up. Noticing any areas of tension. And maybe noticing any areas that are starting to open up as we move through the practice. We're going to start to similar sequence, but we're going to change some of the shapes. Instead of crescent lunge, we'll come through some different positions as we move. And if I am doing my job, we're going to start with the right foot both times and then start with the left foot both times, stepping back and forward. So that should give you a little bit of an idea of where we're going. When you're ready, let's inhale, reaching up. So exhale, bending the knees and folding. We'll inhale for half back. Exhaling, folding, we'll step the right foot back, but this time we're going to turn the toes open to the side of the mat and plant the whole foot down. The left knee is stacking over the left ankle, and we're pressing down through the outer edge of the right foot. On your next inhale, windmill your right arm up and back behind you, extending your left arm out in front of you, coming into warrior two. So our hands are spreading nice and wide, shoulders are drawing back towards one another. Shoulders stack over hips, and left knee draws open as we lunge into that left knee. You can look over top of your left hand. So that'll be our inhale. Our exhale will take our hands down to the mat, turn the right toes forward, and step back to our downward facing dog. As we inhale, we'll look forward, bend the knees. Exhale, step the right foot up, turn the left toes out to the side, drop that heel down. We'll inhale, warrior two on the other side. Windmilling that left arm back. Drawing shoulders together, spreading fingers wide, looking over the right hand. Keep lunging into the right knee. And then on an exhale, we'll drop the hands down, turn the left toes forward, and step back to the top of the mat. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. And then inhale, rise all the way up. Drawing hands down to heart center. Starting with the left this time, inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling, bending the knees and folding. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold, step left foot back, turn the toes open to the side, plant the heel. We'll inhale, windmilling the arms back and up. Let's exhale, hands down to the mat, turn those left toes forward. Step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, bending the knees and gazing ahead. Exhale, step the left foot up, turn the right toes to the side. And then inhale up into warrior two. Exhale, hands down to the mat, turn the right toes forward, step them up. Exhale, inhaling, lifting, coming into half back. Exhaling, folding. And inhaling, rising all the way up. Allowing the hands to meet up overhead, and then exhaling, hands down to heart center. We'll do that again. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, bending the knees and folding. Inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. This time, right foot steps back, toes point out to the side. We'll inhale up to our warrior two. Exhale, hands down to the mat, stepping back, downward facing dog. Inhaling, looking forward. Exhaling, right foot to the top of the mat, left toes point open. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, hands down to the mat, stepping up to the front. Inhaling for half back. Exhaling to fold. And inhaling, rising all the way up. Exhaling, hands down to heart center. Other side, inhaling, reaching. Exhaling, bending the knees and folding. Inhale for half back. Exhale to fold, left foot steps back. We'll inhale up to our warrior two. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Step the right foot back. Inhale, bend the knees and look forward. Exhale, left foot steps up, right toes stern open. Inhale up into our warrior two. So exhale, hands down to the mat, stepping up to the front. Inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhaling, hands down to heart center. Let's pause for a moment here, releasing hands at the sides. Taking a moment to check in. Bring the back breath back to a slow, steady rhythm if it's sped up. Find solid grounding beneath both feet. We're going to do that same sequence, but we're going to add a little bit more into it now. Let's inhale, reaching up. We'll exhale, bending the knees and folding. Inhaling for half back. Exhaling to fold, stepping right foot back behind us, turning those toes open to the side. We'll inhale, coming up into our warrior two. From here, we'll exhale, straighten out through the left leg. Kick the right hip back, and then drop the left hand down, reaching right hand high. Just because this is our first time on this side, we'll pause here for a moment. Make sure you're not putting too much pressure on your left leg, allowing your right hand to lift up high, opening your body towards the right side of the room. Maybe feeling again that gentle stretch along the inner left thigh that we started out our class with. You can either look down towards your left hand or up towards your right. From here, when you're ready, bending the knee, we'll come all the way back up to our warrior two. We'll windmill the hands down to the floor and step back to downward facing dog. From here, we'll inhale, looking forward. Exhale, right foot to the top of the mat, left toes turn open. We'll inhale, coming up to our warrior two. Let's straighten out our right leg as we exhale. Shift the left hip back, shift the right hand forward and drop it down, lifting the left hand high. Again, taking a moment to check in here, grounding equally through both feet, so there's just as much weight in the left foot as in the right. We're really lifting up through the left hand, working towards stacking the shoulders. You can either look down towards your right toes or up towards your left hand. Let's bend through the right knee, come all the way back up. We'll windmill the hands down to the mat and step forward on an exhale. Inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. And inhale, come all the way up. Exhaling, hands down to heart center. Other side, inhaling, rising. Exhaling, folding. Inhaling for half back. Exhaling. Stepping the left foot back behind us, turning toes open. We'll inhale up to our warrior two. Let's exhale, shift the hips back, straighten out the left leg, or right leg, drop the right hand down. From here, we'll inhale back to our warrior two, bending the knee. Exhale, hands down to the mat. We'll step back, downward facing dog. Bending the knees, inhaling, looking forward. Exhaling, left foot to the top of the mat, right toes turn open to the side. We'll inhale, coming up to our warrior two. Let's exhale, straighten out the left leg, shift that left hand forward, drop it down, triangle. Inhale, bend the knee, rise up, warrior two. Exhale, hands down to the mat, step the right foot forward. Inhale, back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhaling, hands down to heart center. Do that one more time on either side. Inhaling, reaching. Exhaling, bending the knees and folding. Inhale for half back. Exhale to fold, step the right foot back, toes point open to the side. Inhale up, warrior two. Exhale into triangle. Inhale, rise up, warrior two. Exhale, hands down to the mat, step back, downward dog. Inhale, bending the knees, looking forward. Exhale, right foot forward, left toes open. Inhale, up to warrior two. Let's exhale into triangle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, hands down to the mat. We'll step forward. Uttanasana. Inhaling for half back. Exhaling to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands down to heart center. Last one on the other side. Inhaling, reaching. Exhaling, bending the knees and folding. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold, step left foot back, toes open to the side. We'll inhale, coming up into our warrior two. Exhale into triangle. Inhaling, warrior two. Exhaling, hands down to the mat. We'll step back, downward facing dog. Let's inhale, looking forward. Exhale, step the left foot up, right toes point open to the side. We'll inhale up into our warrior two. Exhale into triangle. Inhale, rise up, warrior two. Exhale, hands down to the mat, step the right foot forward. Inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. And inhale, rise all the way up. Exhaling, hands down to heart center. Let's release the hands at the sides. Finding our mountain pose. Grounding through both feet. Softening the shoulders down. Finding a little bit of lift as you inhale and a little bit of grounding as you exhale. And then we'll bring our hands onto our hips. And gaze forward, finding something that's not moving to focus your gaze on. Allow your breath to be slow and steady. And then we'll start to shift our weight over into our left foot, bringing a little bit of a bend into the left knee. From here, we'll turn the right knee open to the side, so the heel of the right foot comes to the inside of the left ankle, and the toes touch down on the floor. Taking a moment once again to refocus on your drishti, your focal point. You can stay here if you're feeling a bit unsteady or if your legs are tired. It's a good place to stay using that right foot, almost like a little kickstand for balance. If you're feeling comfortable and confident in your balance and you'd like to take it one step further, you can slide the sole of your right foot up the inside of your calf or inside of your thigh, pressing the foot into the leg, being sure you're not putting pressure on your knee. So if you are resting your foot on your knee, almost no pressure there. And keep turning the right knee open to the side, whatever shape you're in. You can choose to bring your hands together in front of your heart, or you can extend them up overhead, choosing whatever option feels best for you. You can stay in your tree pose, or if you'd like, you can reach down and take hold of your big toe with your first two fingers and your thumb, and then extend that foot out in front of you. So left hand could come onto the left hip if you were doing that. Taking one or two slow breaths, either in tree pose or in hands to big toe pose. And then we'll release that right foot back down. We'll come all the way up to standing. We'll take a moment to roll through wrists and roll through ankles. We'll come to find a neutral standing position once again. Equally weighted through both sides of the body, lengthening up nice and tall. We'll bring our hands onto our hips. And then from here, we'll start to shift our weight over into the right foot, bringing a little bit of a bend into the right knee. When you're ready, turning your left knee open to the side and bringing your left heel just inside of the right ankle. Finding your drishti, finding your focal point. And choosing to stay here if you'd like, or maybe taking it one step further, sliding your left sole of the foot up the inside of the right leg, allowing to rest either at the calf or the thigh. And then we'll focus on turning the left knee open to the side. Hands can rest on your hips or together in front of your heart or up overhead like branches of a tree. You can choose to stay in tree pose, or you can take it to hand to big toe pose by wrapping your first two fingers and your thumb around your big toe and then extending that left foot forward. The back is really nice and long and tall. The back of the leg is long and straight. You can bring your right hand onto your hip if you'd like. Take one or two slow breaths. And then we'll release, bringing the left foot back down onto the ground, rolling through wrists, rolling through ankles. We'll come back down onto our mat through Malasana, so back at the top of your mat. If you're not comfortable in a low squat, you can bring yourself to seated in any way you like.
If you are comfortable in the low squat, we'll take our feet about mat distance apart. So same width as your mat. Toes are going to point open to the side slightly. Bring our hands onto our hips. Lengthen up nice and tall. And then as we exhale, we'll bend the knees and sink the hips down. You can bring your hands together in front of your heart, pressing your elbows just to the insides of your knees. Let your hips sink down and back. You can adjust your feet if you need to, bringing them closer or further to find a position that's comfortable for you. We'll lengthen up through the crown of the head, drawing the chest forward, lengthening tailbone down and back. Breathe along the length of the spine. Good, 2 more slow breaths here. And then we'll release the hands back behind us and come to sit on the ground with legs extended out in front of us, setting up for Dandasana, staff pose. So feet are near the top of the mat. Ankles are flexed, so toes are drawing back towards the shins. Press our hands down into the mat. Lengthen up nice and tall. Draw the shoulders back so the collarbone is broad. Maybe feeling a bit of a stretch along the backs of the legs or up the back. As we inhale, lifting up through the crown of the head. As we exhale, pressing down through the hips. From here, we'll make our way down to our mats by extending our arms out in front of us, keeping the ankles flexed so there's some energy through the legs, and then slowly, one vertebra at a time, rolling all the way back down onto the ground. Taking your time, moving really nice and slow, one vertebra at a time. Allowing the head to come down last, and then allowing the arms to relax out at the sides of the body. We'll take those arms out into a T shape, and we'll bring the right knee in towards the chest, and then over towards the left side of the room, coming into a twist. You can shift your shoulders a little bit to the left to line up the shoulders and the hips if you'd like. And then you can take your gaze over towards your right fingertips if that's comfortable on your neck. Allowing the right shoulder to ground down, and gradually allow the right knee to shift closer towards the ground as gravity and breathing and time work on releasing those muscles. You might notice a bit of play here. As I inhale, my right knee lifts a little bit off the ground, and as I exhale, it lowers down a bit. Just to allow your knee to lift if it wants to. Create some space in the body, and then as you exhale, find a little bit more softness. Let's release. So bring the right knee all the way back up through center, extending the right leg out. Let's draw the left knee in towards the body, and then shift that left knee over towards the right side. Again, you might need to shift your shoulders slightly over to the right to line up with your hips, finding a place that's comfortable for your back. Allowing the left shoulder and left arm to anchor down, maybe looking over towards the left side of the room. Inhale, creating a little bit of space, and exhale, finding some softness, allowing yourself to gradually settle into the pose.
And one or two more slow breaths on this side. And then we'll bring that left knee all the way back up through center. And we'll plant the left foot on the floor. Bending the right knee, we'll plant the right foot beside it. Adjusting yourself so that your hips and shoulders are in line once again. And then we'll let the knees fall open to the sides, bringing the bottoms of the feet together. If your legs are uncomfortable hanging, you can make your hands into little fists and stack them just underneath of your femur, the top part of your leg bone, near where it meets your hips, so that your legs have a little bit of support and there's not too much tension on the inner legs. If you have blocks or books or cushions, you can use those as well. If your hands are not supporting your legs, you might choose to place one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. Or you could take hold of opposite elbows and allow your arms to frame your face overhead. If you like the idea of having your arms overhead but holding on to opposite elbows is not available, you could hold on to opposite wrists or even just have some space between your hands, allowing those elbows to be around 90 degrees, elevated as much as you comfortably want to. Breathing in, allowing the whole body to fill up with energy and air as your rib cage expands and your belly rises. And breathing out, allowing everything to soften. If the arms are up overhead, let's bring them back down alongside the body. We'll guide the knees back up towards one another and plant the feet on the floor about hip distance apart, pausing for a moment with the legs in a neutral shape. And then we'll take the feet a little wider and allow the knees to rest against each other, making a little tent with your legs. You can have your arms resting at your sides or on one hand on belly. If this is a comfortable position for you, you're welcome to stay here. If you have any low back pain, this position is encouraged. If you don't have any low back pain or tension and you'd like to make your way into Shavasana, you can do that as well. Walking your heels down to the top corners of your mat and allowing your toes to rock open to the side. Draw the shoulder blades down the back, pressing them into the mat. And again, you can have your hands resting on your body or you could extend them out alongside your body, taking up as much room as you need. Draw the chin down towards the chest to lengthen the back of the neck. Allow the eyes to softly close or let your gaze rest on something in the room that feels calming. And release the jaw, allowing the tongue to fall away from the roof of the mouth and allowing the upper and lower teeth to separate. Your arms get really heavy on the ground. Allow your hands to find a natural position. If for any reason you're not comfortable laying on your back, you're welcome to choose another shape. And from there, we'll start to settle in a bit more deeply, scanning all along the body. Noticing where the body touches down on the ground. And allowing yourself to anchor to those points. Getting a little bit heavier with each breath out. A little bit more grounded. A little bit more solid. A little bit more stable. And as you inhale, the body fills up with air. You're noticing a small sense of lightness as the energy and oxygen enters the body, creating a little bit more space. So we're alternating between inhaling, feeling lightness, and exhaling, feeling heaviness. Lifting up as you breathe in and settling down as you breathe out. And start to introduce movement back into the body, making small movements at first. Moving in whatever way feels good for you. And gradually making those movements a little bit bigger, observing how you feel as you start to move hands and feet. Turning your head side to side, moving your arms and your legs. And then if you are still laying on your back, taking a moment to draw your knees into your chest and roll over onto one side of the body or the other, whichever is more comfortable. And then slowly we'll come all the way back up to a seated position, allowing yourself to anchor down through both sides of the body and lengthen up nice and tall. Bring hands together under the heart, sealing the edges of the palms and the tips of the fingers. And from the light that shines within me to the light that shines within you. Namaste.